The year is 2011. I'm playing Pokemon Pearl on my DS every day after school. Grade 8 starts in a few months. I just watched Captain America and damn, I'm really excited for the Avengers next summer. Oh shit, I just dropped my Star Wars Empire Strikes Back Lobot action figure and knocked over my Adventure Time DVD collection. Oh no, all my favorite things from 2011. No, oh no. So I found all these videos on an old laptop. I thought these videos were gone forever, but thankfully the files were stored deep in the hard drive next to some really cool art I drew in MS Paint. Yes, this is real. All these videos are from a trip that me and my family did in 2011 where we went and visited my great-grandmother. One thing I noticed while going through these videos is how much I don't remember. Like this clip for instance, it's me and my brother doing classic little boy stuff. We're taking turns rolling a tire down the hill and jumping over it. I had no real memory of this until I started watching and some details started to come back to me. And the same thing started happening to my other family members as well when I showed it to them. Things like what we were doing there and who we were visiting. So during this trip, we went to Canada's Wonderland, and speaking of unlocked memories, do you guys have clothes that have just gone missing for no reason? Looking back at these videos of us in Canada's Wonderland, I'm like, where is that sweater? Like this brown sweater here in this photo? Like I know it wouldn't fit me now, but that was my favorite sweater for so long, and I'd at least like to know where it is. Fast forward to today. By chance, we had a trip scheduled to see my great-grandmother again right after I found all these videos. This time I was curious and I wanted to see her old pictures too. So I asked to see some of her photos, and unfortunately she had actually forgotten many of the details of the images. Lots of the pictures in here were taken when she was a little kid or taken at least 70 years ago. She told me that most of the people were just her friends. And I thought that was pretty funny since most of my own photo albums are just friends, and I thought mine were unique in that way since most photo albums in my family are either weddings, Christmases, or baby pictures. This photo is really interesting since it's her friends visiting Niagara Falls in, I'm assuming, the 1950s. And the weird thing is they are standing on the American side. Here's a few more pictures from that day. I also found this picture from 1935 and asked who the people were. My grandma told me that this is her when she was 3 years old in the arms of her grandmother. This is an actual photograph of my great-great-great-grandmother. My grandma ended up telling us some stories from the 40s. When she was a kid, she lived in a place called Gravenhurst. What's interesting about this place is that during World War II, it held German prisoners of war in a work camp. And Grandma was telling us the story of when she would see them.
So they used to march some of these prisoners out there, and they worked this farm, made them, grew all the vegetables and what to feed them. So we'd be going to school in the morning, and they'd be marching them out to this farm and meet them. They had big red circles on their back of their jackets so that you could see them. But, and about the time we were coming home at night, they were marching them back. They had the camp, and at night you could hear them. They'd be out there singing in German, eh?
Ah.
And you could hear them. They were on the other side of town from where we were, but you could hear them singing in German.
After visiting her, we headed over to Niagara for ourselves. I had never been, and I was pretty excited to take some pictures. Oh, just let me. Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, here we go. Let's. Oh, maybe no. Oh, okay. Okay, looks like lots of people had the same idea. Lots of tourists here. I didn't really mind though, even though usually I'm not a big fan of doing really touristy things when I travel. I feel like this is an exception though. This place specifically makes sense to take pictures at. We made our way to the boat tour, and I have to say it was very reasonably priced. The boat takes you from right next to the American Falls to right up to the horseshoe on the Canadian side. Right up there is where I'm assuming my grandma's friends were standing 70 years ago when they took that picture. What they don't tell you, and what is very obvious now, is that you get soaked. Like we would have been better off in bathing suits, but the falls were so nice that no one was really thinking about it. Everybody was having a really good time. The next day, we got to the reason we came here in the first place. We were spreading my grandfather's ashes. I never really knew him, he wasn't really a part of my life, but we went to pay our respects regardless. This place is a quiet fishing spot that he visited through his life where he could be with his friends and close family. It's a really pretty spot, and it was really nice meeting some family members I never knew about or haven't seen since I was really young. Also, check out this little frog guy. Even though I don't really have any memories of him, at least I was able to make some memories with my family while we were there. Afterwards, my aunt gave my mom a bunch of photos of my grandpa, And just like my old videos, it started jogging her memory and she started telling us stories about when she was a kid. My grandpa worked in a bar, and apparently when my mom was a kid she was there so much that she drew this for a class project. There you can see some of the details of the bar through a child's point of view. I thought it was really cool. And the interesting thing is, when people were looking at me, they started telling me, oh, you have hair just like him, or oh, you're built just like him, and you look like him when he was really young, when we would go and do this together. And it was really weird because just like when I was looking at my old videos and it was jogging my memories, I was doing the same thing for my family members, but it was just because of the way I looked. Overall, I felt the trip was really insightful. I got so many new ideas of my family that I never had, and I'm really glad I got to spend some time with my great-grandmother. I encourage all of you to take cameras with you on your trips, or even at just random family events, because you'll never know what you're going to forget.